Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus for the month of August 2018. Hello, Taurus. How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Taurus, as you can see, I've gone ahead and shuffled previously off camera. Gone ahead and laid down your main spread. What I'm going to do now is shuffle for your outcome. In the bottom of the deck will be your overall energy. If you want to skip directly to the reading, just go ahead and check for the timestamp in the description box below, okay? There we go. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Alright, lay that there. Flip the remaining cards. Once everything is revealed, I'll go ahead and get into this reading. Okay, well. And once again, Taurus, I hope you're doing well in the month of August and beyond, of course. Hope your summer's going well. If you're in the southern hemisphere, hope your winter is going well. And let's see what we got here. Where is Taurus, please? Please show me where Taurus is in August. Here, thank you. All right, Taurus, coming into August, you come in as the Nine of Wands. So, you're tired. You're over it. You're you're definitely in a position where you've been fighting a good fight, or you've been standing your ground. You've been defending yourself, or defending a position, or just, you know, kind of in the heat, or you've been like in a stressful, that's very tensious, very volatile, and just overall stressful. So some of you, this could be like your work situation. You could be like overwhelmed at the job. Coworkers are getting on your nerves. The project manager's on your nerves. You come home and you don't really have any rest. You don't really get any time to relax and things like this. So almost at every turn, Taurus, you're just feeling like, that's it. I've had enough of this. There's no way that I can continue on like this. But the funny thing about the Nine of Wands, Taurus, is it actually is a card of going on and continuing to put up a fight, or continuing to put up defenses. Like, this guy is known as the Wounded Warrior, right? And, I mean, he's made himself a little bit of a barrier there with those wands, and he's leaning on one, and he looks like he should go home, right? He looks like he should just, you know, clock out of this situation. Or, you know, if he's a warrior, he should be discharged and dispatched to his homeland, but he's not. He's just not. He wants to. His feeling is that way, or that's sort of like maybe his inclination, or like his deep, deep wish is like he could stop putting up these defenses. He could stop going through these stressful, tiresome, and very, like I said, volatile situations, but he can't. So Taurus, you're really like caught between a rock and a hard place, where you want to sort of give up on something, or walk away from something, or be able to let something go. But for various reasons, it is a general reading, so I can't tell you exactly what your reason is, or what the circumstances are specifically for you. But in general, it could be, you know, you can't walk away from the job, you need the paycheck, or you need the health benefits. You can't walk out on your marriage because you've got kids, or, you know, you financially can't stand on your own, or, you know, your partner can't stand on their own, or it just would be a pain in the butt to go through the headache of having to dissolve the marriage with all the paperwork and dividing the assets and alimony and child support and all that good stuff, right? You can't, for some of you, this might be like a particular thing in yourself, so you can't give up a certain behavior or a certain way of going about things, and that just becomes habit, right? It just becomes, you know, maybe you want to quit smoking, or you want to drink less. It's all easy to say to do those things, and I'm going to stop doing them, but we all know it's not easy for a lot of us to just give up those addictions, or give up those bad habits. You know, maybe you want to go to the gym, and you want to get in shape and lose weight, or, you know, bulk up and gain muscle mass. Whatever you want to do, that takes hard work. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're not a hard worker, Taurus, but I'm trying to illustrate that in different areas of your life, since it is a general reading. It's a matter of you want it, but it's just not easy. It can't come to you overnight. The solution is not, you know, just a snap of the fingers. It just wouldn't be, it's not plausible. It's not possible. It's not plausible for things to just be fixed or be changed or be dissolved and for you to be fully released. It's just not going to happen that easily. And Taurus, you're not, like I said, you're not lazy, you're a hard worker, you're very industrious, so you know it's not going to be easy. But the energy of the Nine of Wands is just, you're so tired. It's been going on for such a long time that you're just like, enough. Enough is enough is enough is enough, right? And that feeling has also given you the Six of Wands in reverse. So a lot of you are feeling like you're going to come out, not the loser, but you're just not going to get, okay, yeah. So like a lot of you are feeling like you're not going to get the return on your investment, meaning what you've put in, you're walking away with less than what you came in with. So again, a work situation. Maybe you hurt yourself on the job and maybe there's a workman's compensation case going on for you. And so maybe you will have to leave the job. And when you go on disability or whatever it is, it's just not going to be as much money in the door as it would have been if you were still able to work. So it could just be literally your resources aren't going to be what they used to be in this situation, Taurus. For others of you, it's like an emotional investment. You emotionally gave your all to something or gave your all to someone. And whenever you're able to fully get out of this position, you know this, like you've convinced yourself. Not even convinced yourself. You just feel very strongly you're going to be like this. You're not going to come out on top. You're losing something in the process. And you know, I don't want to speak flippantly, but that kind of makes sense, right? If a situation isn't working out for you, or a situation just becomes unsatisfactory and you have to leave, possibly before you want to leave, or you have to walk away, or something has to change, there is a chance that you're not going to get everything that you want. So I mean, what I'm feeling is like I'm speaking to the choir here. Like, yeah, you've come to watch this video for insight, but I'm not sure that I'm going to tell you anything that you don't already know, Taurus. I think a lot of you are well aware of your situation and what's at stake and what you've put in, and you've expected something else to happen and it didn't happen, and so now you're going to have to walk away feeling like you didn't get your justice. You didn't get what was coming to you. You're not getting the fairest share of the prize, or the fairest share of the resources available. Or like I said, if this is like a breakup of a marriage or any type of relationship, like, you know, maybe you and your partner like win in a lot as far as like decorating the home or purchasing certain things for the house, and you're like, but I really want that end table. And your partner's like, nah, I'm keeping the end table. And for the sake of getting out, for getting it over and done with, you're like, fine, keep the end table. And not to say like it's something so quote unquote like petty or small as if it's a furniture item, but it's to illustrate that you really do have attachment to certain objects, or you really need certain resources. Maybe you are moving out and you need the dining room table, but you know, whatever it is. And whatever you need, or whatever you feel that you deserve, some of you, if not most of you, are not going to get that once the situation is finished. And again, it's not to like minimize it and act as if it's a trivial thing. No, Taurus, like you have such a deep emotional investment in this, and these are wands and it's not cups, so it's not emotions in the sense of like to me, wands are similar to emotions in that it's related to passion, it's related to loyalty, it's related to like a deep bond, like a spiritual endeavors, right? So sometimes that involves your emotions. It also involves your mental capacities and might be related to energy that's associated with the sword suit. But for me, what I'm feeling is like it is your emotions. It was your time, your effort. A lot of you worked really hard for something. Again, this could be like a project at work. So maybe you worked really hard on something at your job, and you were expecting to be rewarded, or you were expecting to be told that you're being promoted, and it's not going to happen. You see what I mean? For others of you, it's like, yeah, okay. Some of you have taken on a bigger job at a bigger position at your job, so you were promoted, but that promotion is now running you ragged. And what you put into it, or what you were expecting, excuse me, was not for things to be easier, but the transition to be smoother, or the day-to-day activities to be smoother. Maybe some of you moved into a position of managing, and because in this card, the Six of Wands, there is a crowd in the back there. So there are other people at play in the Six of Wands. So for some of you, you might have moved into like a managerial position, excuse me, and it's not what you thought it would be. It's not as, again, not as easy, but like you're finding it more difficult to get people to be on board with your vision, to be on board with the goals that you set. Like, someone might be giving you a hard time, and that's giving you this energy, okay? Now, I think, Taurus, I did a video for you in July. I'm pretty sure I did. And you probably had a triplet come up. They've been continuously coming up. Only a few signs haven't had them between the July and August reading, so you have this triplet here. I think that this triplet is more about your future, so we're going to talk about that later, right? This is future? Yeah, okay. So these two sides, I think, are reflecting either your past and or your present, okay? What's going on? So, yes. All right, Taurus. So, on top of feeling really defeated and really just over everything and tired and wanting to, you know, pack it all in and just go home and kind of quit the scene, quit the circumstance, quit the relationship, whatever it is, but you, like I said, the Nine of Wands wants that, but doesn't actually do it. The want and the actual doing are completely different. I want to go home. I'm so tired of this crap. You just want to flip over your desk and knock your computer on the ground, give everybody the finger as you storm out of the building, but you keep showing up Monday to Friday every day. You know what I mean? So, what contributes to this feeling is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords has made you want to quit. The Ten of Swords has made you want to give up. The Ten of Swords has made you want to walk away, to leave your spouse, or leave your relationship, leave your life. Some of you, it might be that for some of you. It just might be you're so tired of your life, like a certain status quo in your life, and you're just like, more than bored, you're like deeply dissatisfied. You're deeply just like, oh, this is too much. Like, it's too predictable. There you go. It's too predictable. But regardless of how you get to the Nine of Wands, in your present state, the backdrop of it is the Ten of Swords. So you were betrayed. You were stabbed in the back. You were left for dead, right? 10 swords in the back, that's quite excessive, right? I think 1 or 2 would do. But you've been hurt by someone, and they left you for dead, so to speak. So to speak. If someone literally left you for dead and you're watching a tarot reading, I think you have bigger things to worry about than like your spiritual, metaphysical issues. I think you need to be taking that issue to the police and to court. But anyway, you were deeply hurt by someone that you trusted, because, and a lot of this energy is coming across very clearly for me, Taurus. Yeah, and maybe because it's coming across clearly for you recently, you're starting to have a different perspective on things, or a wider brighter perspective, not brighter, but more enlightened perspective. But you were really hurt by somebody who's very close to you, who you trusted, who you were loyal to, and who you believed, presumed, and had faith that they were loyal to you, and that was simply not the case. And the benefit of this showing up here is that the worst of it is over, right? They did this to you however long ago. Months ago, years ago, whatever. The deep, darkest pain of it is over. This is more like a conscious memory. This is more of like you're going about your day and like a flash of a memory will float through your head and you're reminded of this pain. You're reminded of this betrayal. You're reminded of that person lying to you, deceiving you, manipulating you, or and if it's not like so extreme, for some of you it might not be so extreme where like someone intended to hurt you, and intention, what's going on with that? I want to pause that real quick. Intention, what's going on? Thank you. Okay, so for a small amount of you, this is what needs to be clarified. A small amount of you, that person or people, it might be more than one person, especially in a family dynamic, you know, in-laws and brothers and cousins, brothers and sisters and cousins and all that. For a small percentage of you Tauruses, they really wanted to hurt you. They really wanted to take you down a level or two. They really wanted to knock you off your pedestal and like do damage to you. Okay, for a very small portion of you, that was the case. For most of you, it was not the intention of this person to make you feel this way, or to make this pain and this heartache and this feeling of sabotage and betrayal to be like so earth-shattering. Like that was not their intention. But because of how your nature, Taurus, is very loyal. You're very much if I'm going to give it my all, I mean that. I mean that. You're a ride or die type of sign. And you were ride or die for this person or these people. And they took your loyalty and didn't honor it the way that you honor it, that you would want it honored. And that brought you to a really deep, dark place. But like I said, it's really now just a memory. It's really now a matter of detoxing completely from the memory, from it's like thank you, the residue. It's like a pasty feeling. It's like something keeps like, it's like an itch you can't scratch, or it's like, you know, it's like one of those things where you've tried your best, Taurus. You've been working really hard to release yourself from these memories, from those moments in your life where you realize, man, they were lying to me. Oh man, when they said that was a manipulation. When they came to my house that one time and asked for a favor, blah blah blah, that was a setup. Like you've replayed all that. You've done your you've done your retrospective research, and you know the truth now. You've gotten the goods, right? Now it's just a matter of fully washing all of that away, pouring it down the drain, detoxing completely from it. And as you know, anytime you fully wash something, like, I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. Like, sometimes you take a shower and then you get out and you're like, oh man, I still feel like a little grimy, like under my arms, or like my feet feel like really gross. And you might jump back in the shower and redo it, like after you've like gone out for a run, or you've been exercising, or you were out in the garden getting dirty, and you just sometimes feel, oh, I'm not clean enough, so you go back into the shower. Or when you're washing dishes, you're like, you might, you know, rinse out or clean a cup or a bowl or something, and then you rinse it off, and then just as you're about to put it in the dish rack, you're like, oh man, I missed a spot, and you have to go back. So that's what's going on here. It's like you have to go back and like get like the last little crumbs and the last little bits that are like stuck in the crevices out. And the Ace of Swords in reverse right above that is just to illustrate what the hell happened. what was going on in this situation. Lies and deception. Totally. Okay? Ace of Swords is about clarity. It's about truth. It's about honoring truth, or making truth and honesty like the pinnacle of a situation. When it's like this, it's like, no, it's not honoring truth. It's not giving a damn about being clear and I don't want to say compassionate, but when it's, because when it's upright, it doesn't necessarily mean compassion, but when it's like this, it can mean a lack of compassion, because it's a matter of someone, or the energy in the situation was that of not caring, of throwing the care and concern about another person or the impact of the situation completely out the window, throwing caution to the wind, right? So someone in your realm who hurt you, that's how they were behaving, Taurus. That's what they did. They cut you out. Some of them cut you out, because this is a cutting out. When it's upright like this, that's a cutting out with with progressive and possibly quote unquote positive intent, meaning you're cutting out energies or people that are bad for your state of mind or your well-being. When it's like this, there is cutting out, but it's to avoid being challenged. You cut out other people, or you cut out of situations where you might be detected for being not truthful, for being deceptive. So you duck and dive. Thank you. Ducking and diving. All right? Like avoidance with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, your triplet, like I said, is giving me a feeling of future energy. Okay. So this is you, for sure. Page of Pentacles. Pentacles, of course, are representing earth signs, which you are, Taurus. The others are... Jesus, I'm blanking. There we go. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you and or someone else of one of those signs might be of significance. But I feel this is more your energy. And pages are aligned to children and childlike behavior or childlike dispositions. So what I feel is there's like this feeling, Taurus, of you getting back on your feet. Thanks, that's quite literal. The visual that they gave me was like literally like a baby bull or like a baby calf. Like, I'm sure some of you have seen like those videos of like a calf or a horse, let's say, being born. And, you know, it stumbles up on its 4 legs and it like falls back down in the hay or whatever. So like that's what it is. Like, you are being reborn into your own strength. You're being reborn into your own individuality and your own independence, and you're gonna find new legs. I'm sorry, I'm laughing again because, again, a visual comes to my head of Forrest Gump when Lieutenant Dan attends Forrest's wedding, and he's like, new legs! Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs! You know, so... But anyway, so like that's what's going on. Is like there's this newness about yourself that you're discovering. And not necessarily like a new facet of yourself. No, like a totally new you. Like reinvented, out from the ashes, out from the grave. You know, Taurus has risen, you know. We've been waiting. Taurus has risen, okay? So it's like that where... you didn't, maybe not you, but someone didn't believe that you would recover or that your recovery would be so efficient, because pentacles are about efficiency, right? So I think you're kind of defying the odds, which are here, right? Talking about things being stacked against you, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, feeling as if the burden is too much to bear, all of that, you're actually going to transcend that. You're actually going to be able to come out on top despite these two cards here. And even despite these two cards here, like the page isn't the topmost, or he's not the king of the court cards, but of all the pages, he's the man with the plan, the page. So as far as being aligned to success and being in line to succeed, Taurus, you're going to be in a position to obtain that, to obtain the success that you desire. Because like I said, the page of Pentacles specifically has a plan, has a sound plan. That pentacle in his hand, he's been eyeing that thing up. He's been looking at it from every angle. Excuse me. He's been weighing the pros and cons. He's been doing his research, all of that stuff. And pages, much like knights, are about journeying. They travel, they move. They're slower, of course, because they're on foot. They're not on horseback. But, and like I said, new legs with like a baby calf or something like that, where the first day out, no baby, well, I'm going to say most babies, are not going to be as agile with their bodies as, say, an adult or an adolescent of their species, right? Maybe like fish might be the best ones, but I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist or a zoologist or anything, right? But so this is what it is, like baby steps. And I think the reason like I got visuals of like the horses and the baby calves being born is because unlike humans and other animals, those particular examples, like immediately the baby can get up on its feet, assuming it's healthy and everything like that, and they begin to nurse and everything like that. So unlike a human child that needs to be carried around and other animals that have to like carry their young, the visual I got for you, Taurus, was that you're reborn, you're back out there starting over anew, but you're actually going to be able to get up on your feet and move around fairly quickly. So that's the point of it being a bull or a baby calf or a baby horse or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're still immature and, you know, needing support, but you're going to be able to kind of move along on your own in many ways, okay? And you got the World card right next door to where you are as the Page of Pentacles in the future. And the World card is about chapters, endings, and beginnings, okay? Also associated with the fixed sign, so that's you, Taurus. It's also Leo, excuse me. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So one of those signs might be of significance to you, but it doesn't have to be. It's more about the energy of the card. And the energy of the world, like I said, is about wrapping things up and getting things started on a new page, on a new chapter, perhaps even a whole new book, like a whole new volume in your series of books that will make up your life. And there's just this opportunity. I feel like there's also like this wistfulness about you, which is usually not something, I think, that would not be a way to describe a Taurus in life in general. Wistful. In love, for sure. You can be quite wistful when it comes to love and romance, but I'm feeling this in your general life. You're feeling wistful. I think you're looking at your support team, you're looking at friends, you're looking at family, you're looking at your own outlook, you're looking at, some of you are getting support like through counseling and things like that. Maybe you've got really great coworkers who, despite your promotion or transition in the job, they're kind of cheerleading for you and helping you along. And you're seeing the possibilities. Like, even though some aspects of your life are going to be hard, like very, very hard, and this was very hard. This was very, like, daunting and draining and painful and all of that. But I think what I'm feeling is like you're going to see those silver linings. You're going to see the positive spin on potentially negative things that you've been through. So again, if you have gone and gotten into a higher position at the job, which has given you more stress, you're working with people who aren't really seeing eye to eye with you, and they're giving you flack, they're not really listening to you. The silver lining is, well, I do now have this position. I now have this experience under my belt. My resume is now being boosted because of this, and I have more money. And I'm kind of now in a position, not like you're lording your power over these people, Taurus. It's not like you're saying, well, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to get you fired. It's not like that. You're not being dogmatic in that way. But you are understanding that you're in a position of power, you're in a position of control, and you're going to utilize it in a proper way. Okay? So if you need to do corrective actions with people who are not, you know, sort of falling in line, or they're not responding to you the way that that is respectful, that is showing teamwork and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, well, the silver lining here is I can implement certain changes or but performance corrections that will hopefully help this person and my team know that I'm very serious. I take this promotion very seriously. I didn't just want to be in charge because I'm on some power trip. No, I have things that I think this team can do. I have goals that I'm setting. And if you're not on board with that, then we need to have a discussion, because this benefits the team, this benefits the company, etc., etc. So like, you're going to be exerting your power in a fair way. Like I said, you're not like being dogmatic. You're not trying to lord it over anybody like, I'm in control, you do what I say. It's like, no. I understand that this is different for you to see me in this position, or you've never had a manager like me before, and my expectations are high, but I'm going to help coach you so that you can meet these expectations, because this goal is very feasible for the company. This goal is very feasible for our team. Therefore, Bob or whoever, this is what I need from you. And you're just going to approach it like that, very pragmatically, very matter-of-factly, because you've got this plan that you've analyzed, you've set forth with it, and you have these expectations, and you're not going to see your expectations fall onto the floor, okay? And you can apply that to any area of your life, Taurus. This doesn't have to be about your work. It can be about any other area of your life, okay? But the World card is about changes and becoming coming to a different phase in your life is what's going on with that, okay? And then you've got the Sun card overseeing this whole thing. Now the Sun card, boy, is a positive omen. Like, every time the Sun card comes up, you should view it as a positive omen. Also, secondary card of Leo. So again, there might be a Leo who's helping you or who's close to you that you kind of, I don't want to say rely on, but is helpful to you. And if not, it's, again, more about the energy. So affirmations of a sort are coming to you. Whereas you were weary over here about how you could succeed, not feeling as if things were going to go in your favor. In the future, things are going to go in your favor. Things are going to start to feel and look very favorable for you. And it might just be in small ways or ways that you don't notice initially, but I think this energy of the Sun is going to build. Like, it will ramp up. It will increase. Much like a sunrise, right? Or the traversing of the sun any day. It starts off at the horizon, a little bit of light, it breaks, da-da-da-da-da, you get to the high point in noon where the sun's at its brightest, and then it fades a little bit. So I think you're having that where, like, sometime in the future, you're going to have the sun, like, come up over the horizon. You're going to be like, oh, maybe my luck is going to turn. Maybe my fortune's going to, you know, maybe I'm going to be lucky today. And then you'll see, oh my God, I'm lucky today. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Oh my God, oh my God. And it's just like the steady increase of positivity, the steady increase of, like I said, affirmations and being assured that you're doing the right thing on the job, that you're doing the right thing in your relationships. You're doing the right thing for yourself. Like I said earlier about like getting into the gym and getting healthy, you know, cutting back on eating poorly, cutting out the drinking, trying to quit smoking, whatever you're trying to do, if it's behavioral changes, or whatever you're trying to do if you're having issues, like I said, in relationships, whether that's romantic or otherwise. You're just going to see steady change, or excuse me, you're going to see steady positivity and affirmations of you're on the right track, Taurus. You're on the right track. You are doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing exactly, this is exactly what the doctor ordered, so to speak. Okay? Now, interestingly, you've got the outcome for your August reading as the Five of Wands. Now, that can be a little daunting in the sense of, since I was really just talking about your future, and then I'm saying, well, August outcome is a little hairy. And I think this might just be a little bit of blowback, or rather, this could be the outcome of the 4 cards on the outskirts of your triplet. And the reason I'm framing it that way is because, much like any other fives are temporary energies, right? They're about change, they're about conflict and all that kind of stuff, but they're temporary. And they're workable. You can work with these energies, meaning you don't have to engage in a battle. You don't have to engage in arguments. You don't have to engage with people who are disagreeing with you at every turn, and they're criticizing you, and they're not, you know, not yielding. And that, again, might be related to like a work situation where there's a particular person or a few people who are just like not on board with you being their new supervisor, their new manager, the new project lead, whoever it is, whatever it is. They're just like contentious. You don't have to engage with other people who are presenting contentious energy. You don't have to meet them at that level. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's like temporary. It's to a degree, it is a choice of whether or not you get to, not get to, but you decide to share in this energy. Okay? And other times this is just going to be opinions and not actually contention. This might be a little bit of whining on the part of the people in the job who are like not wanting to do what you tell them to do. This could just be them like blowing off steam, and you might catch wind of them like talking crap about you. Things like this. Petty stuff. Petty squabbles. And Taurus, you can engage in this if you want to. Taurus, you can be petty. You're not... I think a lot of you like will not pass up the opportunity to be petty like ever. Some of you are just like, "Oh, is there a petty contest going on? Let me get on my gear and hop in the ring and participate in the petty contest." Some of you are like that. But you don't have to be if you don't want to be. That's your choice. You can do whatever you want. But whether you participate or not, I don't feel like this is like really anything that's going to disrupt what's happening here in the future, which might play out in August or even later on into the year, right? All right, and the overall energy, Taurus, is the 8 of Pentacles. So I wasn't even looking at this, but this is a card about working, hard work, apprenticeship, being focused. So again, for some of you, this is like definitely hitting in your job sector, in your career sector. So it's definitely, you got people in the job who are giving you a headache. You've got people in the job who are making your life miserable, making you feel like you regret ever setting foot in the building. On the day of your interview, you're like, why did I even take this job back 15 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Some of you are like in that experience. But regardless of where it is, 8 of Pentacles means, to me, I'm going to say it, but I'm not meaning it in the dismissive way. I'm meaning it like literally, like stay in your lane. Like, you don't want drama, Taurus? You don't need to have drama. Stay in your lane. I'm not saying it like to demean you or to condescend to you. No, literally, if you want to avoid all of this and you want to forget about that, stay in your lane. Stay focused on the job at hand. So literally your actual work, the literal things that you have to do day to day, or your other work, your spiritual work, the work that you're doing to improve yourself, the work that you're doing as far as to make your dissolvement of your relationship final. So stay on task. All right, this relationship is over. Let me go ahead and book my U-Haul. All right, let me go ahead and pop over to Lowe's and I'm going to pick up some packing boxes. Let me go ahead and go down to the post office so I can begin to forward my mail. Like, whatever you have to do to make your transition and your change coming into this new phase of your life easier, do that. Focus on that. Don't focus on the drama. Don't focus on your displeasure and your unsatisfied feelings and the situations that make you feel like you're stuck. Don't focus on that. You have to focus on the goal ahead. Future forward. Future thinking, okay? Is that it? Yeah, very clear-cut, this reading, Taurus. So that's good, I guess. So that's going to be your reading for August. I hope that something resonated for you. If it did, I would love to hear about it in the comments section below. Also, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and do all that fun stuff that YouTube allows you to do. And I will be back in about 3 to 4 weeks when I come and I'm going to do your September reading. Okay, Taurus? All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.